So you made an interesting point that this was leader-led. So you went through this yourself.
Yes, I did.
With your own team of team leaders at the same
Yep.
time, learning stuff at the same time. Can you tell us a bit about your own journey through this process as a leader of leaders?
It was really eye-opening and challenging, and I felt quite vulnerable at times because as a leader, I feel that everyone always expects you to know all the answers and be the best of whatever it is that you're doing. But you have to be vulnerable to get trust, and you have to be true to yourself. So I had to be really honest when we were doing different sessions, Chris, and the way I answered, to be truthful about it. You know, if there was something I wasn't sure about or something I didn't know, be brave enough to say my answer, whether it was right or wrong.
And did you have any personal insights that you would like to share that came out for you as part of your journey through that process?
I have learned a massive amount about myself, and it's funny the things you kind of know but you never really admit to it. I didn't realise quite how solution focused I was.
Okay.
And I think through conversations with yourself, Chris, recognise that that's okay, because that's probably why I do the job that I do. However, coaching is really about helping someone understand or helping someone work out how they can get to where they want to be. Because what works for me may not work for someone else. You know, so it was about learning to help someone find their own pathway and maybe make mistakes along the way, even if you know that might not work. You have to really hold back and not be solution focused like me and jump in with the answers, because no one ever learns then, no one ever develops. And it's amazing for the team because the feedback they've recognised me doing that.
Right.
They really recognise when I've done it, that I've not been solution focused and allowed them to come to their own conclusions. So it's been really great.
And interested in what you've seen with the team leaders and their growth and their development through the program. Are there any standout things that you've seen that have either surprised you or you've been very proud of?
I've actually loved it because the energy that's come out of the team and their engagement in coaching has been absolutely fabulous. Like the conversations now, we have a team chat and everyone feels really free to talk about how they're going, but ask for help. So there's a lot of peer-to-peer coaching going on now, and there's nothing more amazing. Like actually, a couple of leaders had a more structured, formal meeting at one point, and one of the leaders came to me and he said, I get really great feedback after that meeting. Now that's not normal an environment where we would think to do that as a team, but actually to get into something like that makes a difference in someone's life and be able to say, you know, to give them great feedback and to take it on board. The team have been really good at receiving feedback. There's not been any closed doors, and I think it's because we definitely did it together and we were in it together. But then I've had great feedback from advisors sending an email when coaching's gone really well to actually recognise the difference was the conversation that the leader had with them.
If we think about coaching as a set of leadership skills now, what are the skills that you've seen your team learn that they've been able to put in practice so they can have these different conversations? What kind of skills would they be that they've learned? Listening
is a massive one. And it's actually thinking about, if you're going into a coaching session, not to go in prepared with the outcome that you want, but actually to go in and understand what is it the individual wants to achieve, how is that going to benefit them, how are they going to get there. Questioning skills is a massive one as well. Now, effective questions is a skill that we challenge our advisors to have down to a T, and we have really recognised in ourselves how much better we could be if we asked the right questions.
Can we talk about the customer actually?
Of course, yeah.
Your whole setup there is revolving around providing the best service you can for the customer. So what are the benefits for the customer?
It makes a great difference to the customer experience because we're actually supporting our advisors be much more efficient in their handling of that customer conversation so they can focus on the things that matter for the customer. So we've seen an increase in the customer's feedback scores. We've seen it in the verbatim. We've seen it in our handle times. Now, the handle times for us are a guide as to whether or not the consultant is following a flow and a process to give out the right information and make sure they answer that inquiry. And we always look at the outliers to see if there's anything else we can do there to support. And we've seen some phenomenal wins and aha moments with some fine tweaking that's made a big difference.
And if you dig a bit deeper on that, is it something that you've seen across the board with all of your advisors, the way they're having conversations with your customers, or is it being specific situations or people with specific tenure, or how's that played out?
There are quite a mixture of things at play there. So there are some newer advisors that some of their learning and their embedding of their skills wasn't quite there. But when the leaders had different conversations with them now, they've been able to get under what was the behaviour that was driving that, what are the things that they could do differently. But then again, we've had some advisors that have been with us like 10 years plus, and there's a mindset that's gone in the past whereby no one will ever be able to change that, so why bother trying? You have to believe in someone's ability to do something. So unless you go in with an open mind believing they can do it, they won't pick up that they can do it either. So you really need to go in supporting them to achieve. And I've seen some amazing results there that's blowing my mind, with, like, again, 10 years plus advisors that I've seen their handle time come down, and I think that's quite phenomenal.